Hi, this is a video on how to create and assign homework as well as classwork within Lumio. As a part of doing that, what we'll also look at is the curriculum search tool, some of the different types of content within Lumio, and we'll also look at how a lot of these features, namely the classwork and assignment functionality as well as the curriculum search tool, can help save teachers time. Without further ado, I'll kick things off. We start by clicking on the teacher dashboard. The next step is to click on My Lessons. And pretty straightforwardly, all we do to create a piece of classwork or homework, an assignment basically, what we do is we click on this Create Lesson button. What we're doing now is essentially creating a folder, and we can choose to call the folder anything we want, and within that folder we will put bits of learning content from Lumio for the child. Whether or not it's classwork or homework will depend essentially on what you decide to call that folder. So for example, I could call this Tuesday morning fractions, and that might be a piece of classwork. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this Friday homework. Once that's saved, we're automatically given the option to go to the curriculum search page to start adding resources. So we'll go and do that straight away. As I mentioned earlier, the curriculum search tool within Lumio is a very distinct and important functional area within Lumio. As you can see on the left hand side, all of the learning content within Lumio is organized in a library in terms of how the content relates to the new curriculum for mathematics in England. This feature should hopefully save teachers a lot of time, because they can click on whatever year group they would like, and within each year group they can find particular mathematical topics, and within each topic they can see how each of the individual bits of learning content in Lumio, which we call learning pathways, they can see how each bit of learning content in Lumio relates to a specific learning objective from the new national curriculum. So all of the bits of learning content or learning pathways in Lumio, they align with specific learning objectives from the new national curriculum. So, like I said, this is a really good way of teachers being able to find relevant material for pupils very, very quickly indeed. Once they've found content that they like, in order to actually add that to the folder that we just created, all we need to do is click the Add To button. And you'll see there, this is the Friday homework folder that I created earlier. I can press Done, and that's been updated.
Hi, it's Monica calling from Lumio.
I can keep looking for other bits of content.
Good, how are you? Good, good. Is now a good time to talk really quickly?
And pretty much add whatever I want.
Right. Just quickly, I see that you have your students on and you're actively using the trial account.
You'll notice as well that each piece of learning content is called either Learn, Practice, or Challenge. Perhaps most importantly, the content-enabled Learn is of a very specific type. So the content-labeled Learn is really designed to be very high quality instructional content that will help children get to grips with the fundamental meaning of mathematical language, as well as strategies for mathematical reasoning and problem solving. What this means for you and for schools is that pupils in exams ideally will have a solid understanding of the terms of the question and a deep understanding of appropriate problem solving strategies to use. The practice content which you see here gives children the opportunity to practice fluency with some of the things that they have learnt by engaging with the Learn content. The challenge content is more about assessment, because this is similar to the practice content, the only difference being it's a timed environment. So like I said, it simulates an exam type environment, and it's a good way, it's good content for using for assessment purposes. I'll add one more piece of content to my Friday homework folder, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to click this My Lessons button to go back and look at my folder. So there's Friday homework. The next step is really just to click on this, and what we need to do is assign that to a pupil or a group of pupils. So let's click on the Assign button. Now you can see within Lumio that you've got the option to filter your list of potential assignees by group. I've set up the blue group, demo class, new group, the orange group, yellow group, years 1, 2 and 3. This functionality is another really good way of teachers being able to save time. The reason I say that is within each class or in each year group you may have groups like high achievers or low achievers. They might be called things like the yellow group, the red group, the blue group. But what it means is teachers can quickly assign content to a particular group within a class. Perhaps that group that they want to assign content to is low achievers, for example, or perhaps it's high achievers. But once they've assigned that content, children then can be given very high quality, engaging learning materials that match what they need to know and match core curriculum objectives. And that then leaves teacher time free to focus perhaps on one-to-ones with individual pupils, or to focus their attention on remediating another group, for example. Overall though, like I said, the key idea is that this feature will enable teachers, in whatever way they use it, to quickly assign content and in that way be able to save themselves some time. Now, let's have a little look at the orange group. There's one child in that group that I set up previously, John Smith, so I'm just going to assign Friday homework to John. That's done. You can now see in the Assign button I've got number 1 in brackets, which means that this particular folder of Friday homework has been assigned to one pupil. The next step really is just to log in as John, just so that we can get a bit of an idea of how that homework appears for the child. So if I just click on Settings, I'm going to use the Lumio Auto Login link to log in quickly as a child. I think John was in the orange group. There's John.
So we might have to clean up the system of that.
All of the assignments, whether they're classwork or homework that you give to a child, are available for the child to access for free from home, or they might be using a device in class. But here it is.
So you could narrow it down.
And there's the Friday homework folder that I assigned to John. How this works generally, every single child that you decide will be a user on Lumio, either you or we will set them up with login details, and they will be given these login details that they can log in from home and do whatever work the teacher has set them. Thank you very much.